your ball in the trees and then you lip out the puck. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us, 'cause now you're listening to the Rough Cut.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome down to the Rough Cut Golf Podcast, where I'm joined by co-hosts Mick, Kieran and Jacob on what is internationally known as the most depressing day of the year. But that
Welcome on
is
down.
not what you are going to get today. You are going to get fun, you are going to get happiness, you are going to get a plethora of shooting stars of comments and good vibes from us here today.
Great.
Yeah.
You've not walked through the office with happiness and joy in your face.
I must admit, I feel I have been infected slightly by Blue Monday this morning. But
how can you
that
be
is
sad
over.
with a podcast entrance like
Exactly.
that?
Yeah, so
It's like April Fool's Day when it only counts until about midday.
Right,
And then
okay.
after that point,
You just got to stop it. And
we're all good. We're all good vibing.
you've got to suddenly turn on your happy face. There it is.
There it is.
Good.
For everyone listening, I just did a beaming smile. For everybody watching, it probably wasn't my best. Thank you once again for joining us. We are still up there, right in the podcast chart. So the more and more people coming aboard every week, thank you very much. If you are watching on the podcast channel on YouTube, please subscribe and follow us on your favorite podcast provider. And why not give the main channel a follow and a subscribe as well?
Oh, good idea. Great idea. We actually haven't acknowledged that theme tune to the extent to which it needs to be acknowledged.
I agree.
We've had lots of lovely comments about the new podcast theme tune. The story of it is odd and extremely rapid. But me and Kieran live pretty close to each other in Manchester, and we were driving home one day and we were talking about the podcast, and I thought, you know what it needs? It needs like a nice
theme tune.
needs like a nice poppy theme tune. So I sang a kind of vague melody into my phone, and Kieran was like, "What on earth have you just done?" And I was like, "Don't worry, you'll find out about it later." Came into work the next day, messaged my friend Freddie, who lives in Cologne in Germany, and I said, "I've got this idea. I want it to sound like this. What can you do?" He was like, "This sounds wicked. Let me get back to you." And I thought, we're looking at 2-3 days time. Within an hour,
Yeah, that's.
he sends back this exact thing that you have just heard, the Rough Cut theme tune, and it is sick.
Awesome.
It is peak like 90s sitcom
Yeah.
kind of vibes, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I
I'm
love
not going to
it.
lie.
I
I think
love it.
Freddie's done an amazing job, and I think one of the reasons we didn't give like a massive reaction then is we have listened to it.
Oh,
How
on
many-
repeat.
I
many
would
times?
estimate 174 times today.
I was about to say, yeah.
So like it's kind of just like part of the background
Just
now.
so
We're-
damn catchy.
we,
So good.
we know what it is. We sing it all the time, and hopefully it is now lodged in your brain as well.
I'm expecting at some point for people to see us at an event and to sing the podcast theme tune at us.
Is that what you are asking for now? When
I'm
you
not
see us?
asking for that, but I'm expecting it to happen.
Okay.
Do you get people coming up to you saying, "Oh, pin high, sign of quality ball striking"? That
No, I don't. I don't, oddly enough, no. I mean, a few people come up and say hello, which is lovely, but no one's ever sang at me before.
well, welcome to the new world.
Yeah. It's like living in a musical. I'm not entirely sure I'm up for that.
Well, you by proxy signed up to it when you said yes to being the host of the podcast.
Wow. Did not read the small print.
No, you did not. And if you're watching on YouTube, you have probably also seen the video introduction that we made for last week's episode.
Yeah.
Um,
Full on steer into the 90s sitcom.
100%.
Full on steer.
We went kind of through a Saved by the Bell kind of
Yeah.
themey kind of road. And yeah, it was fun to film, and it kind of sets the tone for what we want the podcast to be about. Like, yes, we're going to be talking about golf, we're going to be talking about making videos for YouTube, but also like we're just having a good time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
there's no pressure for
Yeah,
it to be.
I've seen a couple of comments, which is exactly what I was hoping for, in that it just feels like it's four mates sat down like you would in the clubhouse, just having a chat about golf, which is great. That's the vibe we're trying to go for. We want to talk about golf. We want to talk about the YouTube side of things, but also we want to feel that people want to actually listen to us talk, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be wearing our hats in the clubhouse, would we, Pete?
It depends where you are. Like if you're in the States, it really doesn't matter.
Really?
You're
Yeah,
not too
it's-
bothered, are they?
No, I'm not bothered either. I don't know where. I mean, taking your hat off inside. I don't know where it actually came from. That whole
It's a kind of
polite
like
thing.
gentlemanly sign of respect. I believe your hat was like what you wore to work, and then when you were saying, "Oh, I no longer see this as a place of work. I see this as a kind of homely, welcoming environment," and you would take your hat off.
Hat hair wasn't a concern for them back in the day, obviously.
No, which is why I wear mine.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking is like, oh no, can't be taking my hat off.
Come on now. But you two have had fresh trims.
Yeah,
Fresh trims, yeah.
yeah, fresh from Saturday.
On the same day.
Yeah. Did you go together?
Yeah, we
did,
held
yeah.
hands. It was very.
Yeah.
They put the aprons over us. We're like, no, we need sleeves because we need to.
Was this pre Manchester Derby?
It was pretty
was,
much
yeah.
a derby, yeah.
Okay. And it went well
Yes, it did. Yeah.
For your side- for
the
your
red
side of the
yeah,
draw.
Yeah.
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 No offside discussion will be
Exactly. Yeah.
had
We don't,
right
we don't
now.
want to get into any of that.
No, I'm sure that has been covered on 3,000 podcasts. by now.
Was the offside? Yes.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Okay, so yes, you mentioned Blue Monday, which is supposed to be, the saddest day of the year.
The gloomiest day of the year is.
Yeah. So
gloomiest.
bad weather. Christmas is over.
Christmas is over. Back to work.
Back to work. You're realizing that your New Year's resolutions are hard to keep.
Yeah.
You kind of maybe the batteries have run out on that remote control car you got for Christmas, and now you're just sad.
But then, as you get up that morning, look out at the dreary cityscape before you,
How do you do
drenched
this?
in grey and mulchy snow. You look at your phone and you realise that the Rough Cut Golf podcast has an episode live.
Yes.
And you are pumped up. Suddenly there is a little ray of sunshine in your life. And we asked our viewers and our followers on social media to give us some positive vibes this Monday. And as if by magic, absolutely not prompted, Kieran has some of those stories right now. Let's go to Kieran.
Yeah, we put out a tweet and a story. We got a good response from it all, and I'm going to read out a few here, but there are a few listed here, which I'm going to give Mick to do a bit more work. But
Yeah, I'll stick.
here's a nice little list.
If you don't hear yours read out, you might see it on the screen now.
They're only very little ones, so that
Maybe up here.
Yeah. They're only very little ones. So this was from Webbo1414, if you're listening or watching. Seeing my dad play a full 18 after beating cancer was pretty. Thought that was, that's
awesome.
that's
Yeah.
quite.
That's a good one. Yeah. So
It's a good one.
Just for context, we asked people what their happiest moment on a golf course
I was going to say, yeah. So that was the happiest moment.
Now that you've read that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
because we
amazing.
wanted to
That's
lift
really
the
cool.
spirits a bit today.
Correct.
And the next one was from LA Monster 86, getting picked to do an advert for Golf Now with a story about my mate smashing the pro shop window. Do you remember that?
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I thought that was really cool.
That was a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
So
Have
I
you
think-
seen that one?
I haven't.
Yes, I know exactly. And if it's the one I'm thinking of, I always wonder if it was filmed at the exact place it actually happened.
I think it was.
Where he had to have hit that
Yeah,
shot
yeah.
to hit that window is obscene.
It's a very good
It's a
advert.
toe.
that.
Is out of the toe.
Yeah.
It must be,
It,
yeah.
it was like 90 degrees right,
Up,
completely
straight
there.
right. It was, yeah.
We've all done it.
It was.
No. It
No,
it
we
was
ain't.
very much in... That window was in a place that was very much out of danger.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. It
For
shouldn't.
99.9% of the golfing
They
population.
probably didn't double glaze it because they thought it was going to be fine, so they just didn't.
Yeah. No one could possibly hit it up here.
Exactly. So we'll save the money, save the double
That's cool.
glaze. But yeah, so that's quite.
It
cool
was
that you
on
mentioned
every time, though, when you watch the golf.
Yeah.
Like, every time it went to an advert break.
that. around the Masters as well, wasn't it? I remember
Yeah.
it. That's why I remember it so vividly.
So sorry, mate, you probably pissed off at some point.
Yeah, literally. And Liz Rice 90 said, my now fiance proposing to me on a beautiful twilight round at St Mellion.
Oh,
Thought that was quite a nice one.
isn't that
That's
nice?
quite nice, isn't it?
That is good.
But yeah, and then the last one I've got here is pretty crazy story, to be honest. Craig CJ82 having 2 hole-in-ones in the same week on the same hole, same 8-iron, same Z-star. How mad is that?
That is wild.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, same week having 2 hole-in-ones on the same
You got to buy a lottery ticket.
same week,
Same hole.
same 8-iron, same Z-star.
He's just learned. He's just learned the ins and outs of that green.
I'd
and
have
he just-
framed that. I wouldn't have ever played if I got a hole-in-one with like a ball or a club. Well, no, actually, no. The club not, but a ball, I'd keep that separate. I'd never want to lose that ball. I don't know about you guys if you're like superstitious
Or if
like that.
If you get one in with a hole in one, I'm
not playing with that ball again because I don't want to lose it.
I think Craig might just have like a reoccurring memory.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Did you bang
Pretty
your
sure
head?
I've done this before.
He's just thinking he's done it twice.
That's called deja vu.
Yeah, literally.
I think I wanted to have a collection of golf balls from like big moments, but I fluffed it when I got my first birdie. I was like, oh, I'm going to keep this. And then like not thinking about it, I put it down on the tee on the next hole and just like
See ya.
Yeah, it was gone.
I don't know where my hole-in-one ball is.
You know.
I lost that, yeah. I just carried on playing with it. I didn't think.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
those ones made up, which were nice. Or Vice, did Vice send some through? I
Yeah,
think, didn't they?
Vice,
It was like,
Vice
that
sent
was
some through
cool.
the
Oh,
whole-in-one
yeah,
balls.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
Again,
nice.
it's the whole mug situation, isn't it? You've got something, but it's not the one, is it?
Yeah, but it's fine. I got the memories.
okay, that's
I
good.
got the memories.
If
That's
it's
all that
fine, then I'm
that's all
fine with
that
that
matters.
now.
I
Yeah,
got a
that's-
video of it as well. Like I got the next best thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
The first time I ever shot under par, I've kept that ball, and that ball stays with me in my golf bag all the time.
But what
And
if
you haven't lost it.
I haven't haven't played with it since.
I
What if you
don't-
accidentally pick it out?
Because I know it's like it's in like a different
Specific
compartment.
in the
yeah,
the save for never.
yeah, exactly.
Even-
yeah.
Even though you haven't pulled it out to play, it's very off-brand for you for not to lose it. I must admit.
I know. Yeah. No, it's it's one of those things.
No,
where it's
very
like,
good. I'm
yeah,
happy for you.
It's just
It's one of them things, isn't it?
Yeah,
What
you
did you shoot?
3 under. 3 under.
Wow.
Very good.
68.
And that's your best round today.
Best round to date.
Have you got close since?
No.
Okay.
No. I've only gone under par once, and then never done it again. So it's probably that's probably why it's
One
Right,
more time than
seems
many
to-
other people.
yeah.
So
Maybe you should take it out, and you might shoot on the par again.
Maybe it's the ball.
No, it's
maybe
actually
maybe it's sending out bad vibes because it wants to be the special ball. Like it can't cope with anyone
only-
else sharing its pocket.
yeah, I would do that, but like it is like scruffed up. It's got like a when you goes in the sand, it's got that like mark over it.
Pete's ball never
Do you
goes
know what I
in
mean?
the sand.
It's got a real gash on it.
Right.
So
What
that was on the
ball is it?
17. It was a TaylorMade TP5.
well, there you go.
So if TaylorMade want to send us some more TP5s, that'd be great. I have the ball from the first time I played an entire round without losing one.
Okay.
Right.
That's the only one I've saved so
See,
far.
when
I've not had
when I
many
get on a
achievements.
run, I like to see how long I can go.
Oh,
With
no.
the same ball.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a thing with other people, but if I finish 18 holes, my then continuation is I want that to go for another 18.
The
I'll
same
put-
ball.
I'm not,
Yeah, yeah.
An
I'm
entire
not
year on the
retiring
same
it.
ball.
But what if it's got like some gashes on it and stuff like that? You still go again?
I'll keep going.
Still going.
I'll keep going.
Oh, fair enough.
It depends. If I'm having like a friendly knock, then I'm not really too worried about the condition of the ball. The
Just
standard
adds
I
character, doesn't it?
the standard I play at, it doesn't really matter.
That makes zero difference. I'm hitting that pro shot window, whatever happens. Whichever ball I'm playing, it's going through the window. So let's talk about a couple of results that just happened. Hero Cup just went down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Team Continental Europe triumphing over Team GB and I. Fleetwood and Molinari, respective captains.
Correct.
And did anyone watch any of it?
I watched a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Caught some highlights. So some people were on form.
Yeah,
Which
I
was
think some players could have potentially put themselves into the conversation for the Ryder Cup, which is what this kind of event was about. I think.
Yeah.
It's a really nice idea. It was I really enjoyed watching it. I like Abu Dhabi Golf Club. It's a nice course to watch. It helps that when you've been that you can see the whole clang and
Just
played.
played there a few times.
You know,
flying
shall I tag the
Flying
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
YouTube
find the
video,
video in there. Why not?
flying there on Wednesday. you
So
know.
it's nice. So it's nice to watch golf on a course that you can sort of see and understand from when you were there.
Yeah.
And it was, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good event. And like I say, I think there's some guys that maybe weren't in the picture to start with that have probably played themselves into some contention, and people that we would hope play well in match play situations and done very well.
I think Bobby's one of those, isn't it?
Bobby did great, yeah.
Bobby's one of those.
Can we have second names?
Bobby
McIntyre.
McIntyre.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Kieran. If you're not watching anything, more, Kieran just refers to everyone by the first name, as if they come round every weekend for Sunday lunch.
Bob. Good old Bob.
Good
Yeah.
Bob, my mate Bob.
Bob's probably listening. He'll
Yeah,
understand.
He gets it.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, it was okay. I mean, I think there was several things that would have made it better. I would say, first of all, that I didn't really see any nods or homages to the fact it's just the Sebi Trophy rebranded and renamed.
Yeah.
Didn't really see any of that, which is fine. Like, it's not the biggest thing in the world for me. Sebi was kind of like before my time, but I think if it's going to be an exact copy of an event which is just Beam but with a sponsor, at least have a little bit of a nod back to it. I mean, that would have been nice.
Were there any big Spanish players playing this year who could have, in their interviews said, something about Sevi and his legacy and stuff?
I don't think there was a single Spanish
Yeah, I
player.
don't think there was.
There was no. John Rahm wasn't knocking about.
He was not
He
knocking
didn't,
about.
wasn't having
he didn't
it.
fly in for it.
I
He wasn't
think
having it.
he might be in Rome, I reckon. I think he might get there.
Already.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Just
that's
waiting
true.
waiting
that is-
outside.
Oh, yeah.
He's there. He's
even
like,
if-
I'm assuming I'm in the team, so I'll just
Even
go
if he
early.
fell out of the automatics, he would get picked.
There's no way he's fallen out of the autumn.
No,
Well, I know
yeah,
he's
no,
not,
he's
but
not,
that's what I'm
no.
saying. He's already there, whether he does one way or the other.
What about Fleetwood? Surely he's already there in the
No.
automatics.
He'll
I
be
don't-
a captain's pick.
As a Tommy Fleetwood
I love Tommy Fleetwood.
And that's not even an exaggeration. I think that he will be there, yes, but it's not set in stone.
I don't know if he'll
be on the.
I don't know if he'll qualify, but he'll definitely get picked.
Right.
I would say he's on. I would say he's in that second level of decent European players.
Right.
Like he's not kind of shooed in yet.
Right.
He'll be there for Ryder Cup experience, and having played the event before,
Yeah.
it's going to be big.
Tommy's one of those guys that I think kind of everybody wants to be there, but let's remember that there's a lot of other really good players out there, and Tommy's not really won anything for quite some time. So,
Excuse me. He won the Nedbank at the end of last year, have you know?
He did some great bunker play.
For 2022.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
was that last year? Or was it the year before?
That was last year.
22.
Yeah.
Completely passed me by.
This is what I mean. Yeah. I thought he was flying, but obviously not.
Blue Monday getting the better of you.
Yeah, take it all back. I'm normally pretty good with that stuff as well.
Siwoo Kim won as well.
Yeah, Siwoo Kim. I'm not done talking about Seve Trophy. I'm being honest with you.
Still
I've got several other key points to make.
Pete, is this the most passionate I've seen him?
I need to exercise some Blue Monday demons.
This is the most energy you've had.
I just have
all day.
one
Behave
question.
yourself.
I just have one question. Is it the same trophy, or is it has it been a rebranded trophy as well?
It's not the
Oh, it's a
not
brand new
these,
event,
it's
but it's
different-
basically the
Right,
same
okay.
format.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
And
Right, I'm with you.
it's just kind of like, if you're going to do an event like this, and this was one of the issues that they had last time, is that eventually it was just struggling to attract the kind of caliber of player that you'd want.
Yeah.
But you're not going to attract the caliber of player that you want unless you host it at a venue which is going to attract some really big crowds. So Abu Dhabi really like it, but there wasn't really that many people there watching it. It's obviously, if you're going to have a match play event, which you want the crowd, you want the atmosphere to be people fist pumping, the crowd going crazy when one of their favourite players holds the putt.
Yeah.
It has to be somewhere where you're going to attract those crowds. And even though obviously this time of the year, the only places you can really have it are going to be
Somewhere warm.
Yeah, kind of Middle East.
Yeah.
And maybe schedule-wise, it wouldn't fit in to have it, say, in the UK or Ireland in kind of the middle of the summer. Like, those are obviously scheduling issues which will need to be addressed. But it just felt, when I was watching it, a touch flat at times.
Yeah.
Much less kind of hype and chanting and cheering than you would like to see then.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the difference is with the Ryder Cup, when you watch that, this was one of the big debates, obviously, why it wasn't held when the pandemic was going on. And Rory kind of said it. Without the fans, the Ryder Cup is not an event.
Right.
It just wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, the fans are so powerful in those events, aren't they?
Exactly. And like team sports needs crowds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the whole point of having a team is that you root for one team.
Yeah.
And when it just, like I said, it just felt that a little bit quiet, a little bit flat. I mean, I think it was a good start. I think there was a lot of good golf being played. But yeah, wouldn't mind seeing a few more people to watch it.
Cheerleaders.
I would say passionate fans.
Brass band.
No.
Mariachis.
If you're in Mexico, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know, something to build some excitement.
So could there be a potential that
Book
That's your
Nickelback.
peak excitement. Nickelback and Nickelback and a brass band on the
You've
first
never
day.
been to a Mick Warwick party.
I don't think I want to now.
So it could.
I don't think anyone else has either.
It could be.
Come to mind. What's the invitation? Nickelback. I'm doing something.
I think that would be a draw. I think if you booked a house party and said Nickelback are playing, people would go.
Away.
Sorry, Kieran.
I was going to get back on. Sorry, I'll just get back on topic there.
Drag us along.
I'll drag us along. Yeah. What would it be if we moved that then till like sort of March time? You know what I mean? Would that be better? And then we can hold it in like UK and Ireland or in Europe, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's just more along the lines of players are probably going to be unwilling to commit to an event which sits right in the middle of their season.
That's
like,
right. Yeah.
Just dragging them out of that. But it's what it needs to make it a success.
Yeah.
Or it'll just end up like the Seve Trophy and peter out.
Yeah. The Ryder Cup podcast that we were listening to,
Yeah.
which we will inevitably reference for the entire year in the lead up to the Ryder Cup. It's called the Ryder Cup Run. And they talk about Seve's kind of influence and how his kind of exuberance brought the fans like out in the 80s, and it made the fans the like additional player on those teams. So you can see it having a massive difference if particularly like during that the pandemic, when there was a debate about whether the Ryder Cup was going to happen or not, it made complete sense for it not to happen. But now you're like, when we go to Rome, maybe not actually go, but when the event comes to Rome,
in spirit.
yeah, the crowds are going to be absolutely ginormous.
That's gonna be mental.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be mental.
Not sick. I'm not allowed to say the word sick.
It's just going to be great.
It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be an experience to behold.
There we go.
There we go.
See what Kim run. He won.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't even see him playing in the Hero Cup. If I'm being
No,
honest
he
with
wasn't
you.
playing in the Hero
Was he
Cup.
not? Where was he playing?
He was playing in Hawaii.
I see. Well, let's mentally get on a jet, fly from Abu Dhabi Airport to Honolulu International Airport.
That's a long flight, that, isn't it?
That would be
That
very
would be long.
Would that be, what do you reckon, 18 hours?
Nah, a little bit less.
A
14.
little bit less, 14 hours?
No, I'll go 16.
16.
Yeah.
We'll put up here how long the flight takes.
Well done,
And well done,
Kieran. Well done, Jacob. Well done, me. Woo, well done.
No points tally for that one, unfortunately. But yeah, more golf. Siwoo Kim won, wearing what I thought was the sickest shirt of all time. Did you see his shirt?
I did, yeah.
Oh, it's cool.
What was the shirt?
Wanted one immediately, like a black and white. I think it said PGA Tour on it.
He's sponsored by PJ Tour Apparel,
Oh God,
which
that top was sick.
I'm not
You're
sure.
not really
I'm not sure I'm there with that. If I'm being honest with you, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of naughty shots. That chip in particularly
Chip in on the-
to
yeah.
win the and I think I saw a shot of his wife like realizing that he'd won and be like, oh my gosh, we won. And he's just like handshaking on the 18th, and she's like, just suddenly realizing that they'd won the tournament. So very cool.
I think he's become quite a popular person on the tour.
Very
I think
popular.
the President's Cup did a lot of good for him. Definitely saw a side to him that I didn't actually think he had.
Yeah,
He was class in that.
he's very cool.
So it was good to see him win. And it's good for like Asian golf as well. It's
Yeah.
always nice to see these players coming through. When women's golfers on the Asian players, they dominated for so long and still do now. There's so many players at the top, but for men's sport or men's golf, obviously Matsuyama winning at the Masters was a big moment for that. But the continuation with Siwoo, with Tom Kim, it's really cool.
Yeah,
Really
lots
cool.
of cool stuff happening from that part of the world. Talking of great golf, are we going to just do a mild preview of your first official, well, not official, but your first round of 2023 peak? Because we're going to Ras Al Khaimah on Wednesday. One of the reasons that we're going is that Pete is going to play his kind of first round of the year. How's your game? How are you feeling? Talk us through the bag, and where are we going to see success, and where do we need to work this year?
Okay. I mean, first of all, I would like to point out that we are not just going out to play Alhambra, Ras Al Khaimah just for my first round.
No, we're going for 5 days to shoot
You're
lots of
very
content
particular about where you play.
with lots of cool people.
As
But
much as I would like to say that whenever I want to play, we just hop on a plane and we go somewhere, we're not quite at that level yet. But to be honest, the motivation to go out and play in the UK right now is pretty much next to zero. It is snowing outside
literally,
at this moment in time.
drove through a snowstorm to get here this morning.
Yeah, so I'm not really up for that. But first day there, going to be playing our first round, reviewing all the shot scope stats from last year, seeing where my game is at heading into 2023. I'm not hopeful.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so sad.
No, I'm really not. I mean, in the studio, doing all the club testing's fine. But getting out onto a golf course and actually playing a full round of
Different
golf
animal.
is very different.
Yeah.
Especially short game around those courses.
Yeah.
Greens are going to be slick, big, thick Bermuda rough, bunkers deeper than asteroid impacts. It's not going to be fun. Water everywhere.
Yeah.
What's the par of Alhambra?
72.
72, and
7,345 yards.
Oh, wow.
so it's long.
I think.
I think you should make
Mapping yourself out.
No, I'm almost sure it's something like that.
All
yeah.
right, okay.
But it's long anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it depends what tees we play, because we are going to be doing some videos kind of taking on the Tour Pros as well. That's probably going to be off those tees. So maybe the first round back, just ease myself in. Go off the mid tees. Something
Right.
like that. Around 6,500 yards.
Okay, but will we tell people on the YouTube video that you're playing off the backs even when you're not?
No.
Okay, good.
I'm not going to
Yeah,
lie
good.
to people.
No, I want integrity, Peter.
I'm not going to lie to people. Plus, I think people could probably see, well, there's 6 tees behind.
Yeah.
You're off the front. I'm not going to try and mislead. Listen, I'm not playing in comps this year, but I've got nothing to lose as far as my game's concerned. I want to head it in the right direction. I want to improve, but there's no comps on the line yet.
Yeah. So driver's feeling good.
Driver's feeling fantastic, but that's almost the only thing I've hit.
Do you know what
true.
driver you're going to hit?
Well, the first day that we're going to be there, that's when we're going to do the Build My Bag driver video.
Oh, wow.
as
So
well.
it's going to be like quick tests.
So testing it, making sure I made the right choice in the bag.
in the game.
All right.
Yeah.
So has the choice been made already?
There are a couple of leading contenders, but I'm not going to ruin
You're not
the
going to
surprise.
disclose
No,
information.
don't reveal it yet.
No.
But that's cool. So we'll do a Build My Bag driver video, go out and shoot. You're saying the driver's feeling strong. Of course, we did a lot of testing. I'm still doing testing on things during Tech Month. So drivers make sense. We have done a little bit of iron stuff, much more recently than the driver testing videos. Wedges, putters. I don't think I've seen one in your hand yet.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
Not a clue. Not a clue. This is the problem. Like most of the wedge and putter releases are towards the end of this month. They need to reverse it. I think next year all the embargoes should go from green to tee. That'll make it more impactful by the end of the month.
Yeah, at the end of the month, like everyone on the 31st of January is like, here's all the new drivers.
Yeah. Everyone's just foaming at the mouth ready to see
True.
the Stealth 8 or whatever's going to be coming out.
Yeah,
Stealth
they're skipping all the additional iterations of those clubs.
6 releases this year. And I'm here for it. Give it to test. I love it.
So are we then right to think that the Build My Bag driver is going in the bag and you're going to play with the current irons, current wedges and current putter that you're already rocking in the Oggio bag?
Yeah. So I'm kind of thinking it might be, what's it going to be? Basically 2 Build My Bag videos a month from next month. So that would fill the bag by April.
Yeah. And then you can play through the whole summer with the set and...
Yeah. Then I don't have to mess around.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm targeting some specific clubs like with the
You've
irons
got
and
some
stuff,
thoughts, haven't you, of where you want to go with it?
Yeah.
And are we getting fitted for these things?
Yeah. I mean,
have to.
drivers. I'm not an expert fitter by any chance, but I know enough about my swing and my numbers to be able to fit myself into a driver now.
Yeah.
Especially with the consistent shaft that we're using. But when it gets to irons and wedges and stuff, the Adele fitting last year for the wedges was an eye opener. So I do want to still get fit for those.
Will there be another putter fitting?
Why not? Listen, I've had that putter in the bag for about 8 months now.
That's
It's
a long time for you.
It's burning a hole in the bag.
Yeah.
Intermittently.
Well, no, technically, I've had it for like a year, along with the arm lock. That lasted until the first comp.
Yeah. And then that Odyssey went in the bag for about 2 weeks. And
Yeah, that's just because I forgot to
ripped up a
change
dare
it.
and then had
Yeah,
one
yeah.
shocking round.
Is it a
was
two
like-
ball?
Was it a 2 ball?
Yeah, 2 ball. Yeah.
That's great. What a great putter that
I
is.
think you putt the best with that Adele though.
I agree.
Over the year.
Consistently.
Consistently.
Yeah, consistently, yeah.
I agree.
But there's no fun in sticking to a consistent putter, is there?
No, cool, yeah. What
What's
would
the
be the
fun
fun
in
of that?
that?
I was saying, like, now I'm not
Why
playing in a comp.
do you want consistency?
What am I going to
Completely
blame?
overrated.
What am I going to blame if I play badly?
Yeah.
If not the putter?
Absolutely.
Exactly. The first thing out the bag. Get out.
Mick, you're finally understanding what YouTube golf is all about.
It's just always the poor putter. That's the one that goes.
Yeah.
Not the driver, not the
Yeah.
irons, not the
Yeah.
wedges.
Yeah, so it is the first one to.
That's
get
the one that
kick
gets
in
the
there.
kick, yeah.
It's tough life being a putter. What can I say?
It is, yeah.
None of the rest of those clubs, though, you expect to go in the hole. The putter is the only one that you're like, well, you didn't achieve the one thing I
Yeah,
needed you
that's
to
true.
achieve, which
Yeah.
is for the ball to go in the hole.
It's a lot harder to forget like a missed 2.5
Oh,
foot putt.
Yeah.
Like you miss a fairway, you find it,
Exactly.
get away with it.
100%.
Miss a short putt, you're like, oh, you are getting snapped.
Definitely. You ever snapped a club?
No, I haven't actually. I snapped one by accident. That was literally just leaning on it on the tee, and the shaft just broke.
Yeah.
And the shaft went about 4 foot on the ground as I was leaning on
I
it.
did something similar.
You break.
Was
you
that quickly
break a
after
club a week.
quickly after the Christmas period? Was it where it was just a bit extra weight?
Yeah, a little bit of extra fuel speed applied. Oh, those are
Have
back in the days.
you ever thrown one?
Yeah,
Oh, I've seen a throw.
yeah. I think everyone's thrown a club at some point.
I don't think I've ever thrown
I
one.
don't think I have.
I've
either.
not launched a club.
No,
I feel like I've got quite a good through drop. Like
Yeah,
I'm not
I
wanting
feel like a
to hold
drop-
on to this club any
Yeah,
longer.
you drop it and then try and catch
And
it.
then
don't
catch
you?
it
You're like,
behind me, yeah.
I feel like the drop and the throw are very different. I'm talking like I don't
Full
like
on launched.
yeet that thing.
Yeah. Never done that.
Never
Yeah,
thrown that.
I've given it a toss, and I've definitely thrown it against the bag. but I've never like windmilled it like 30 yards down the fairway.
Like Rory did that on. Where was that? He hit that 7-iron or something like that, and then he just absolutely just threw it into the pond.
Yeah,
I
enough
can't
of it.
remember.
Yeah, I think the other ones that bring to memory ones where I've been like doing it for effect as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you're playing up to it. Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So
So it's not all real.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say we'll maintain
I literally- I
maintain
can't-
our integrity to a point.
I can't imagine you throwing it in anger. I can't imagine you doing that.
No, I've definitely thrown it in anger, like in a comp or two before.
Right.
But I'm never like that. I'm never an explosive angry person.
No,
I'm
no,
much
no.
more of an implosion.
Yeah, you let it get to you.
No,
Yeah. I'll sit in
Yeah.
after a bad comp. I'll sit in a room for a few days.
I do.
Lights off.
Yeah, I do remember
Yeah.
that. The Worsley. Worsley?
I was going to say, what was the one where you shot like 13 on a hole?
Yeah,
or
there was.
something?
I remember this one
That was
where
rough.
it was a wedge, and he didn't duff it.
Did it
but
go
like-
over his knee?
No, he didn't duff it. He just didn't hit it hard enough, and it went like 30 foot from the pin. But I saw him like hold it, and then like
There was a bit of bend.
in like that. Oh yeah, bit of a bend,
Yeah.
and then I had to hand in the putter. So I was like, all right,
Here you go, mate.
here you
Enjoy.
go, mate.
And then again, their poor putter then gets
Yeah.
absolutely abused
Yeah,
no,
by
it
from
was-
that point.
I do remember that
Kicked
because I
and
almost
thrown.
drained that putt.
Yeah.
It was more like 50 foot as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't 30
It was,
foot.
yeah, no, it was, yeah.
And it was a duff.
Drain,
The fish was this big. I
drain,
tell you.
drain for what? Quadruple.
dragging the memories back out.
Oh
Damn.
god, yeah, that was a
Yeah, sorry to bring
that
you
was a
back
tough
there.
round. That was a tough round.
I think I was like 1 under to that point as well.
Yeah, it was all
They're
going well.
They're the ones that hurt the most is when you're playing really well and then you have one hole.
It was
that just
the,
ruins it for you.
It was the par 3, wasn't it? Went in the water.
You did 12 on a par 3.
No, it was the whole after.
The whole after, yeah.
I think I was 1 under, put it in the water on a par 3, like doubled that, and then had like an 8 or a 9. Something.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun.
You're like, I'm going home.
And
This
then that was it.
Yeah, I was fuming.
How many holes would have to be left in order for you to walk off the golf course? Like if I start having a bad day on 16, I'm like, well, I've only got 2 left, so it's fine. We'll make it in. But at what point do you go?
I see
Right, am
what
I
you
going home?
I'll make a decision at 9.
9.
If it rolls around back to the clubhouse and the car, and I can see,
I can see the way out.
or if it's a nice warm day and the people are sat out on the patio with a beer already, and I'm like, well, that looks quite nice.
Yeah.
Are we talking a comp or just like general round?
I think general round.
A general round, yeah, I'm a bit more flexible. I've never walked in on a comp before.
No, you just.
I think I've
wouldn't expect
NR'd
you to.
one professional comp, but I've never walked in.
Yeah.
That's just rude.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, people are out there trying to compete. You can't be like, well, I'm not doing it today. Sack it off after 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anyway.
Not yet. Well,
I was
maybe not
surprised-
ever now.
No,
I was
no.
surprised. I was surprised you didn't with that one, but no, you kept it off. You kept going for that one.
You got to keep going. You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say then also inversely, what's the like furthest back you've been and you've been like, right, hunker down. We can get as much of this back as possible before we get to 18. What's the like biggest deficit you've made back?
Probably a few years ago, Leeds Cup. I shot 4 over first round, just made the cut, and then shot 63 second round. And it put me back to a few under par. Or whatever it was. But it put me back on the par. But because I was one of the first out, I was leader in the clubhouse. So I was like, well, I'm never going to win. I'm never going to win from this position. So I might as well just go. But I sat down for a bit. I just sat there and like a few more people came in. I was still leading. A few more people came in. I'm still leading. Anyway, literally gets down to the last group coming in.
no.
I've been sat there for about 4 days.
And the hope has also been building the entire time.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh god. And anyway, I think it was Phil Archer in the end came in, and he shot like,
Of course it was.
He was like 4 under, like few clear of me, and I was like, oh, waste of time.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Sad.
So I stayed long enough to give him a stare, and then left.
Yeah, got to shake his hand.
I've had that a few times. Very different level, but like you've come in with your Stapleford score as you've played as a team or something, and you hand your card in, and someone looks at it and they'll go, "Oh, I think you should hang around for a bit longer."
Oh, yeah, that must be nice.
Oh, shall I? All right.
Oh, yeah,
well, I'll
go on
settle
then.
down. Right, come on, team. We'll stick around for a bit, and then an hour later, and you're coming in, and everyone's shot 10 times more when you've gone. You're like, oh.
What you don't know is that the bar manager has told the tournament organizer to
everyone to
tell
stay.
everyone to
Yeah.
stay. So that you can have a couple more bevies before everyone else gets in.
Tell him he's got a good score. Read him the specials. as well.
Yeah. Well, they got a nice croque monsieur going on at the moment. You're like,
We've got the carvery on if you want.
oh yeah. Okay, so it takes us neatly now round to something that is very, very exciting for this season of golf, but actually no one actually has seen yet, which is this new Full Swing Netflix series. Kieran, you're extremely excited about this. Talk us through it.
I am massively excited. So this whole the whole idea behind this is it's very similar to if you have or haven't watched Drive to Survive F1, which is on Netflix. It's a very similar thing where Netflix have gone round and they followed a few players this whole year, and they filmed the majors, and they filmed the players and the FedEx Cup playoffs. So it's going to be a really good insight into like a PGA Pro's life, and then also some of the massive events that have happened this year. So
I think the raw excitement is that, as you mentioned, this is from the guys who did Drive to Survive. I know you're a big Drive to Survive guy.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people are Drive to Survive people because that's what's got a lot of people into F1, and that hopefully will do a similar thing for golf in this iteration of this Netflix special.
If the conversion, Full Swing has 10% of the conversion rate that the F1 Drive to Survive had, then it's going to be absolutely massive for golf.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive.
As in fans.
As in, yeah, fans.
Not as in race car drivers.
No, but like...
I could do that.
Get that on a Monday morning. Everyone's driving rather fast today. This morning rush hour is flying by.
Do you think that something like that can have like the example that is kind of like from my generation is something like Happy Gilmore, where you're like, oh, suddenly golf is like a thing that you can do. You see it in a context that's kind of just shoved in your face. It's a blockbuster movie, or it's a Netflix TV series, that kind of thing. Do you think it can have a massive effect on people actually picking up the game?
Oh yeah,
100%.
I do. But the only thing that's, and I'll get on to kind of Pete's opinion in a minute, but like golf is different to F1 in the sense of like it's an expensive sport to get into. You need likelihood, you need a membership, you need the clubs, you need everything. So the entry level to get into golf is obviously a bit different to F1.
I'd say it's a lot harder to get to
F1.
F1.
I thought F1 would be more expensive than
playing
golf clubs.
I mean, from a fan, well, obviously, yeah, right, yeah. Obviously, you're not going to be getting in the car, but like, the whole idea of this series is that it wants to get people involved and get people, playing the game, taking it up and stuff like that. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the golf industry kind of, handles all of this influx of, new people and new ideas. Is it going to change? Are they going to do anything separately? Like, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It's definitely an easier transition for them to watch this show, as I hope everyone will, and a lot of new people will. They'll see golf, whether for the first time, second time, or they're avid fans and they've stopped playing, or whatever it might be. Compared to Drive to Survive, you get a really good insight into a world that you don't actually have a very good idea of, but the transition to actually go and do motorsport is quite complicated.
Yeah.
Whereas with
Well,
golf...
no, you can go go-karting, can't you?
Yeah, but...
Actually, don't mention go-karting.
We don't do go-karting anymore. Whereas with golf, even though the topic of how expensive it is something for probably another day, but you can do it, and that's hopefully what this show will provide to people if they watch it and think this is something that I want to try and see, or they'll watch it and go, I'm not touching that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What did you think of the trailer, Pete?
Yeah, good, exciting. I think from my point of view, maybe I'm a little bit more skeptical, but I think with Drive to Survive, what that really did was get more fans interested in F1. One of the differences is with Drive to Survive, you got invested with the drivers. You could then watch the races, and the first seasons of Drive to Survive, especially, the seasons were actually really exciting. Right. You had very close races. You obviously had the Verstappen-Hamilton kind of controversy at the end and all that kind of stuff. My concern would be you would watch this, then start to watch the events and actually not be as engaged because, the coverage of professional golf events isn't that exciting generally.
Yeah.
So that would probably be my concern. But I think the best thing that they could have done was obviously start it this year.
I was going to say, we're going to go through the year of the things that happened and then try and visualize in your mind a kind of behind the scenes of these kind of like iconic moments throughout the year. So number one, Tiger says he's coming back, and he comes back and plays the Masters. You know, everyone's kind of expecting. You know, I don't know what we were expecting really. I was kind of expecting.
Yeah, well, that was it, wasn't it? I don't think anyone really knew.
Yeah,
That was
I think I kind of thought like I would love for him to win, of course. Like then of course I just wanted him to make the cut.
Yeah.
Then like seeing how kind of affected
I
he
want
was.
him to be able to stand after he's finished playing.
Like
yeah.
affected by his injury, I was starting to think like, oh, I really want him just to kind of like get through the tournament and not, you know, have to like DNF or whatever. But like Tiger coming back, big. Do you reckon there's going to be any? Do you reckon he signed a all right, I'll be on it, or do you reckon we're going to get?
If he has, it's something they've kept.
Yeah, I was going to say they've
On lock,
They've told us who they're covering.
Yeah,
right?
they have their set players that they followed round for like the whole year, and we're going to get onto it in a bit. But obviously, like some of those players went to live halfway throughout the season, so that's obviously going to be an interesting one to see. But yeah, I mean, I think they followed 3 out of the 4 winners of the majors this year. So that's the kind of thing about the Drive to Survive as well, is that like when a team win, they're in the garage seeing like the reactions and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to see if they've got like the behind the scenes of them actually winning and like, you know, what happens after that, what happens behind the scenes. So yeah, no, it's gonna be cool.
Also, like, not obviously the post stuff, the pre stuff as well. What actually goes into the preparation
100%.
for winning
100%.
these tournaments? Because I think, you know, the way Tiger was the catalyst for this, and golf becoming a lot more athletic, and players having to, you know, use the gym a lot more, and in this journey for
there's
power.
There's going to be a lot of
and
great
range and-
montages in
Well,
there.
there's going to be Brooks benching something.
I was gonna
that's
say,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
whatever, but
Brooks and Chase.
yeah,
Just like
swap over and then they go again. Yeah, so it's gonna be cool to see. I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to see how they present things, because I think the live stuff, as you mentioned, is going to be interesting. What's the kind of spin they go on it?
I wonder if they mention it and try not to cover it too much.
This is it. It's going to be
So,
interesting to
yeah,
see.
because obviously they, you know, the players had to sign a contract saying that they were going to, you know, follow them down for the whole year. So this is the thing, is that like now they went, it's like what happens with the other half of the year? It's like,
I mean, there's no way that they can avoid it, because some of the players they followed literally went.
Yeah, literally,
Like, they can't just stop the story halfway.
yeah,
They'll be
this
like,
is-
where did Brooks go?
yeah, this is what I mean.
You know, they
What
do
happened to Poulter?
Yeah,
At the end of one of those like one of those movies where it like it fades to black and then it fades up with the writing, and it's like Brooks Koepka went on to play.
Like, there's no way they're going to be able to avoid that. There's no way they're going to be able to avoid that. There's no way they're going to be able to avoid the other players who remained on the PGA Tour talking about that.
Yeah.
You can't imagine that the time they spent with Rory, for example, he's not going to comment on it. He's not going to mention it. So that's definitely going to be a big part of it. But you just want to be able to show their personalities more. That's what golf struggles with. It struggles with bringing over personalities of players and introducing players that you want to root for, that you want to actually get behind. You know, that's what this kind of series could really do, to get new fans invested in the players. Because everyone watching this kind of knows really what golf's about. There's not really going to be many hidden surprises. Like the world of F1, the intricacies of it. It's a lot. You can go like crazy in depth to all the cars and all the structures and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Golf doesn't have that. It's been around for a long time. People kind of know the basics. You hit it off a tee, you try and get it in the hole. Like there's a bit of stuff in
You got to
between.
try and find it.
Easy go.
But it's just like getting the personalities out and just like making them come across a lot more, because it's really hard to do in a tournament setting.
Yeah, 'Cause they've added the kind of the walk down the fairway interviews, which have done a little bit of kind of building that character. Kind of you get to learn about, you know, people like Tyrrell Hatton. I love Tyrrell Hatton because he's like a character, and he's exciting to watch. You never know when he's going to blow up or something hilarious is going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's because we've seen his personality on the golf course that you can root for him. So it makes a massive amount of sense that if we can get an insight into how these players prepare, into their kind of their family life, what they like doing when they're not playing golf, that's going to make supporting them like much easier.
I just hope it doesn't become like a washed down vanilla version of here's Justin Thomas. look how he prepares for the event.
Yeah.
Oh, he works hard. Doesn't he just do all the right things?
Yeah.
Kids, you should be more like Justin Thomas.
Yeah, I want to see him. I want to see him struggling. I want to see him like having a barbecue with their families the week before the Masters. I want to see that.
I think you will see that. I really do. But that was what I think with the F1. You had that one guy, didn't you, that kind of was like the narrator and the presenter. That journalist, do you remember?
Will Buxton.
Will Buxton, like he kind of was he was setting the scene, and then you'd move into that. So I don't know whether we're going to have that in terms of like have that one guy that's going to
Volunteering.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're releasing it next month, but if you want someone to do some retakes, I will be there.
What I'm actually really annoyed about, and I literally remember this the other day, is I should have been in it, but I'm not going to be in it.
What?
You what?
So they were filming, but bear in mind, I'm not like they were filming at the Open.
Sorry, hang on, what?
Yeah, honestly, I literally just remembered this. So they were filming at the Open, and basically, because I was doing the presenting for the Open, I was on the range, I was walking around with the mics and stuff. Yeah. I was in the background of quite a few shots, right? So I get an email through, and they said, "Oh, dear Mr. Finch, we've been filming the Netflix documentary, yada yada yada.
We'd like you to be in it, please.
Could you please sign this release form,
A waiver sort of thing.
so we can use your images?" And I was like, "Yeah, fine." So and literally promptly forgot about it until like a few days ago.
Oh, and did you get an email to say?
No, I didn't send it back because I'm not going to be in it.
Oh,
No.
so if you did send it, you could have been in it.
Yeah, but I would have been like literally in the background,
So it
Oh,
wasn't
it
like,
would have been worth it.
like
they-
creeping around.
they didn't come up onto you on the range and go, "Excuse me, Mr. Casey, can I have a conversation with you, please?" And
No,
they went,
they
"Oh,
don't,
sorry,
no.
no, you're Peter Finch."
Oh no, you're David Seaman. It's like no, there was none of that. So unfortunately, everyone has missed out on me creeping around the back of the range.
That's a shame.
Oh, that would have been sick.
There might have been some close-ups of you though. Oh,
Why? Why should you want a close up of me, haggard,
Well, I
on
don't
the
know.
driving range, just
You know,
say
just
Andrew
to set-
sunburnt?
just to set the scene. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, I'm so that's.
Yeah,
that's
it was a little bit
Do you know
annoying.
what?
That's a
It really
little
is.
bombshell,
It really is Blue Monday now. That is
Yeah.
so sad.
I mean, potentially they might have just ignored it. and
Surely,
just said,
yeah,
"Oh,
you might. Yeah.
Email them back and say, "Listen, I'm sorry I didn't email you the release form, but please let me be in it."
So,
You were on
But
that
anyway,
range enough.
yeah,
That
all
would've
I'm
got something.
saying is, Mum, Dad, if you're watching Netflix for that 5-second clip of me standing at the back of a range, you might miss out.
That's so sad.
Devastating, I know, but it is what it is.
Okay, so Tiger comes back, wonderful. Scheffler wins the
Scheffler wins the Masters.
He 3 putts or 4 putts on the final green.
That's one thing I like to say is that like how much of a background behind the scenes did they get of the Masters as well? Like
Co-
how cool,
Ooh,
do you know
that's
what
a
I mean?
good point.
Obviously, I've only
Notoriously tricky to.
obviously to film in, but then we've never. I don't know about you guys, but I've obviously you've been, but I've only ever seen it from like a TV screen and like the set shots. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, are we going to get like a right down eye level sort of thing? So
I'd love to see, because Scheffler said he was really struggling with the idea of winning. Like he went in on day 3
Yeah.
and said that he couldn't sleep, and he broke down to his wife and was like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to go and win.
Don't know if I'm ready.
Yeah,
I just don't know
yeah.
if I'm ready to do it. Like,
I wonder if they're going to catch any of that stuff. Would be
Yeah.
unreal to see kind of how these.
that's what you want to see.
That's
that's
what I want.
that's what I mean. And someone like Scotty,
want to see you cry.
yeah.
Suffer.
Well, someone like Scotty as well. He just seems so lovable as well. doesn't
Yeah.
He just seems so soft. He's like a soft man.
You just see the best in everyone.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a soft. He's
you
a
do.
soft man.
Is it Scotty?
Yeah.
Scotty seems great.
Yeah,
Good old
Scotty
Scotty.
seems great.
Scotty, my favourite Scotty.
Yeah.
What's the second major of the year?
US.
USPJ.
Oh, yes,
PGA?
PGA.
Who wins the PGA?
Yeah, JT.
JT.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, so I do very well because I had quite a bit of money riding on this, and
He bet big on Mito.
I was big on Mito, and I don't. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I read something somewhere that he was going to translate very well onto this golf course, which obviously he did, and he was doing very well, and he was leading by 1
Yeah.
on the 18th,
Yeah.
and he hit his tee shot into that creek,
Yeah.
and then.
Why he
Double
took driver
bogeyed.
there? Why is it driver there?
So on 17, he missed a short putt for birdie, which would have put him two clear. And I think after he missed that putt, maybe it's a mentality thing of just like, right, I'm going to keep my foot down still
Yeah.
and just like, I'm not going to because he hit driver, I think, all the rest of the week. So I don't think he wanted to change, which is I can understand. But yes, I had a fiver on him to win. I would have won about £700, I think, if he won.
He just hit a bad shot at the bad time.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
He did.
Because he's one of the guys that they were following as well, Netflix, Mito.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
No way.
And also JT.
And also JT.
Yeah.
So you got two of the main features of this documentary series going head to head
in the final round.
And one of them having a disaster and one of them having a round of his life to come through and win it.
It's gonna be
I
mental.
think I do remember this tournament. It's the course where some of the tee shots play over the greens of the previous.
A little bit, yeah.
What's
it's
the
not
course
like
called? I
it's
can't
not
remember.
straight over the top, but it was. it
Maybe
was-
I'm thinking of the PGA or the US Open. Maybe I'm thinking of the US.
No,
Open.
you are thinking of PJ.
I am.
Yeah, there's a few where the greens like run off the back onto tees and stuff.
Yeah.
And they would have to wait.
Southern
because
Hills. Southern Hills.
Southern Hills. They would have to wait because
Yeah.
someone was finishing up before they could
Yeah.
hit tee shots
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I do remember it.
So no, that was fun to watch for me.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't very fun at the end, but it was good to see. JT winning was great. I can't remember that he came back from 6 down or something like going into the final day. I think he had quite a way to come. Playoff versus Zalatoris, I think that's right.
Oh yeah, and we were talking about Zalatoris's
His putting stroke
inability to putt straight.
makes you want to throw up in your mouth. Gets it done though.
Gets it done, yeah.
It's a bit harsh.
It's one of the best.
Especially,
shots.
especially when I've seen your point stroke. Suppose you're not throwing up in every green.
Yeah.
It's because he's got one of those very fancy putters from next door in his bag. Currently.
Yeah, it's perfect for me.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about it. Just take it back, take it through.
Don't have to
That's all that
try.
matters.
Yeah.
And then we had
US.
the US Open
US.
that Matty Fitz wins.
Yeah.
He did.
And they were following him as well.
Great.
This is what I mean, is that like, I don't know if it's just Netflix or anything, but like they seem to
It
get...
always seems to
They just seem to
work
get
out.
so lucky with like the people, you know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So lucky with the people they're following. And
That's going to be really cool to see. Matt's kind of a guy that I'm doing it.
You
I'm
just
calling
did a
him
him.
first.
His
I did
name's
a-
Matt. Matthew.
Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Mr. Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Mr. Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Is a guy that within himself is not very outlandish. He doesn't really sort of present himself too much, but just seems like a really nice guy. But hopefully in this documentary we'll see the side that you don't get to see. And
Yeah.
that's all, as we keep repeating ourselves, but that's what we're looking for.
And
hopefully he'll do it.
was that bunker shot on 18 the best shot of the year?
I would say so, just purely for the magnitude of the situation, where he was at, what he had to do, the shot he had to hit. I think he had to. I'm sure it was a 6-iron, something like that, and he had to hit a cut, bunker front, had to be perfect, and it was. And it was just it was the whole story with Finch as well, him winning. It's just it was awesome to see. But
Fuge.
Fuge?
yeah, was it not?
Who's Fuge?
Fuge is no, it wasn't.
One Fuge. It was
No.
Oh, Billy.
Yeah.
Billy.
Foster.
Sorry,
Sorry,
going to give you a few minutes to get it, but
I'm getting mixed up.
Who's Fuge?
He was
McDonald's caddy when
Oh,
we were
oh,
at,
right, yeah.
Yeah.
at Wentworth.
Right, I was going to
But
say.
he was
like-
Roses, and then
I was like, where did he finish? Like,
Right. I was gonna
was
say.
he-
I'm talking
did
caddy.
he have a good round? No.
No.
See, this is why you weren't on the production team for Netflix. Because
Well, 'cause I'm getting the names
you'd be
wrong.
getting people in from everywhere. It's like,
Yeah.
that's not the right guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out Finch.
And now on the team, Michael Jordan.
Just get him in everything.
Okay, and then we go to them following superstar talent Peter Finch at the 150th Open.
You really need to stay tuned for this one. This was, if you want to see me walk in a slightly awkward fashion, it's the one to see.
Kept that quiet. You didn't say anything before.
Yeah, no, it only came to me the other day when I actually saw the trailer, and I was like,
Oh, I could have been in that.
yeah, I was like, oh, I wonder if I'll be on it, and I was like, oh no, I won't be, will I?
Because I forgot.
Unbelievable.
I didn't
that.
press send.
That is unbelievable.
Did you do the thing where you sent the whole email and then forgot to add the attachment?
No,
and then you
because
were like, oh.
they literally sent it like during the open week. So obviously I'm here, there, and everywhere. I saw the email. I was like, oh yeah, I'll have to remember to do that, and obviously didn't. So yeah,
Oh, that's
Oh,
so
well.
sad.
That's a shame.
But the Open was also like they have Rory.
They have Rory, yeah, but
They
they
have-
don't have Cam.
They didn't have
They don't
Cam.
have Cam, no.
Yeah. So my other favorite bunker shot of the year was Rory's bunker shot that he holed third round, fourth round potentially.
That, yeah, I
For-
know the one
for
you
Eagle.
mean. I know the one you mean.
Yeah, the eagle.
Yeah.
That was mad, that.
Very gnarly.
Yeah,
Very,
that was
very good.
very good. Very, very good. All the majors this year have actually been very good, haven't they? Like they've been dramatic, they've been good, so
I think the Open was the one which was it gutted me the most in many respects.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we were there at the Open. Obviously, we were watching. As soon as like the players left the range on that Sunday, like my job was done, so to speak. So could get out, enjoy it, and just try and get involved. And I don't think I've ever been at a tournament where almost 99% of the people watching wanted one player to win.
Yeah.
Rory. So
Yeah.
everyone was rooting for him, and he was playing good. He was playing decent golf, and he just couldn't. Couldn't get it in the hole. And obviously, Cam Smith played incredible and deserved to win.
Yeah.
But literally, and it was just such like a.
It was
deflating.
It was very somber, wasn't it? After it happened.
Afterwards in St Andrews, there wasn't that like liveliness.
No.
It was just like
really the town was kind of just a bit defeated.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because honestly, I've never known it like people to be behind one player so much. It was just unbelievable, and it was just like it was such a.
Was it? I think on the green on 17 was kind of where people knew that it was over, or was it earlier than that?
Yeah, I mean, he basically had to eagle the last
To
kind of
tie him
to get the
to go
playoffs.
to a
Everyone
playoff.
was rooting, and I think it was the up and down on 17. That was the point then. Obviously, going into the last, he had to eagle it. But once that up and down was made on 17, I think everyone had decided that was it.
And it's one of those things like that putt from Smith on 17 when it went round that bunker.
Round the bunker, yeah.
it
That
was
was
unbelievable.
It was just like it's one of those because he made it look really easy.
Yeah.
And it's really not. That is such a difficult shot. And
Golf is a hard game.
yeah, but not only that, it's just like it was such like a little chess move because he knew exactly where he was going to finish.
Yeah.
He backed himself to hold that second putt, and he did it. And it was kind of like, well, you know what? That's just really good.
Yeah, that was
Very smart golf, like very smart golf.
Just great.
Yeah.
Just really, really good. But it wasn't as exciting as everyone wanted it to be, just because of the ending. But it'd be interesting if they did get Rory after that round because he was in floods after it. So
I can imagine that him and his team and his family were all kind of. I think it being the 150th Open probably had a little bit more weight on it, but I can imagine them all being like broken, pretty broken when that kind of came to an end.
There was quite a few accounts of people saying that as soon as Rory left that 18th, he was a mess.
Yeah.
Just fell.
You would be, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Like
you
the
would be,
pressure
yeah.
that's
Yeah, you
built
would
up.
be,
Yeah.
One of the other things I remember from that was that I can't remember if it was in the final round or even we'd heard it prior, but that was the first time we'd really heard rumours and murmurs that Smith was going to live.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And that spread around St Andrews as well. So I think that was the beginning of this kind of like
Rory versus
Rory
Liv.
PGA. Cam's probably going to live.
What do you want? Well, we could give you the inside
There was
scoop.
all talk of like
You
he's
can
going to
give
be
me
on
the
the.
inside scoop.
The inside scoop. Do you want the inside scoop?
Yeah, go on. I
I
just
do.
for people who don't know, I wasn't there because I didn't work for Peter Finch Media at the time. So tell me what happened.
Well, this is either true or not true. But this is what we've been told by industry insiders. The deal to take Cam to live was done like before the Open.
Yeah.
He was going anyway, but when he won, all he was waiting for is to understand if his exemption to the majors, which he got for winning the Open, was still going to stand if he left, and it does. So that's
So then he was like, "Fine, I'm
So he was
going."
like, yeah.
I will take your $30 million, whatever it was,
And still playing the majors.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
No way.
Which wasn't a bad deal for him in the end, was it?
Yeah.
No, it worked out quite well, yeah.
How much consolation do you think winning the FedEx Cup was for Rory after that season that he had?
His bank account would have been happy, but I don't think it's the major in it. He wants to keep winning majors.
Yeah.
That's what he wants.
To win at majors again.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
But he just wants majors. That's all he wants.
I don't think it'd be a consolation, but I think it'd be more like validation that he's obviously doing the right things and he's still like, for me, the best player in the world. But it sounds so obvious, but like majors are really hard to win. There's only 4 of them a year.
And only 4 people can win.
Exactly. And like the FedEx Cup, Tour Championship, whatever you want to call it, like that rewards the consistency across the year as well, which obviously that is like the hallmark of Rory's game over the
Yeah,
last
it's
5
going to
years.
say makes sense that he won it because he was just extremely consistent.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the one that Rory obviously wants to win is the next one coming up at the Masters.
Yeah.
You know, I think he would quite happily trade every other major for that one. In the future, obviously not
Yeah.
from the past.
Yeah.
You can have all my others.
Mm-mm.
Let me
Well,
win
that-
this one.
He wants the Grand Slam.
Yeah,
doesn't
if he gets
Yeah.
the Grand Slam, that is him really up there with the elites of the game.
Yeah.
Historically, the elites of the game.
Yeah.
And I imagine we'll be doing a kind of Masters preview week
Absolutely.
podcast. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Doing
we'll
it from
be-
Augusta.
Yep.
Now that's a scoop.
That's
Yeah.
music to
With
my
Rory there
ears.
as well.
Yeah, Rory's special guest.
Rory,
Yeah.
special guest.
Can I beat a tour pro?
Can I be a tour
At
pro
this
at Augusta?
Masters course.
Oh my god.
Talking
Oh,
of
man.
filming at Augusta, though, Dude Perfect went and filmed. So they've set a precedent. If you're a YouTube channel,
They've
and you're,
opened the doors once.
and you're
Absolutely.
very very nice, and
Yeah.
you're willing to film with Bryson DeChambeau, you can go round. You can go round 3 holes. I think they only played 3.
It's
Yeah.
a great video. That.
Sick video.
It's a really good video.
So good.
Yeah,
Was it sick? Was it?
It was
that was
sick.
that was good. That was good.
God damn it! Too
Can't
much
hope so,
sick.
can you?
No, I can't. Okay, Kieran.
Yeah.
We had a competition. Well, not a competition. We had a little bit of a quiz last week. And through some controversy, Jacob took the win. He didn't use his buzzer,
Oh yeah.
but Jacob took the win in Who Am I, even though Pete used his buzzer to correctly identify
I play by the rules.
Jason
Sorry.
Day. Jason Day as the winner of putting in 2016 or something
Yeah.
silly.
Top putter, Straits Cane
Um,
in 2016.
the game went so well, we're going to do it again.
We are.
Back by popular
Yeah.
demand.
And now also, because I've built the precedent by putting the scores
Scores
on,
on. We're going to have to keep it
we're
going.
going to have to keep
Yeah.
the scores going.
So, who
have you got another
won?
one?
Who won last week? Can we just establish this?
Jake-
It's gonna be
Jacob.
Jacob.
Jacob won.
You won. Yeah, yeah. But and this time we're going to have to use the buzzers though. Have to use the buzzers.
Are you
So
going to put your foot down?
Do you
are
want? Do you want a new buzzer or you want
No.
the same buzzer?
I'm going to keep
No,
the
I'm
same
gonna
buzzer
stick-
because
I
I
was
didn't,
gonna-
I didn't get to use it. So
I don't
Actually,
think
yeah, we don't know what yours sounds like.
we do.
Get the hole. Oh yeah, that was it. Okay, all right then. Well,
Just to explain this game again, because Kieran, again, calls everyone by the first name and just assumes everybody listening knows this game. Kieran is going to read out random facts about a tour professional in decreasing levels of vagueness and difficulty.
Yeah.
The first person to guess who the tour pro is the winner.
but you have to use your buzzer as well.
Got to use your buzzer.
Gotta use your buzzer.
I don't even need one because I guarantee I'm not getting anywhere near this. Let's do it.
Okay,
It's very
I'm going to
defeated.
come back in.
Yeah, well, look,
That's why.
let's be realistic.
That's why you're not going to get on a Netflix documentary.
I'll tell you why you're
You're the
not on a
mind of a
Netflix
winner.
documentary because you didn't reply to an email correctly. So don't tell me about how not
Yeah.
to be on one.
I should have sent it to David.
I don't
David
know. I
David
don't know
David
why-
straight away.
Remember
Honestly.
Oh,
to do
just
it.
a shout out. David is playing in St Andrews right now.
right this instant.
So
Whilst he's on the 7th, apparently.
whilst we're recording, David is in Scotland playing 3 courses.
Yeah, old
3 at St Andrews.
old
and then-
new Jubilee.
Wow.
Oh, and that 9-hole course. What's it called? What's that 9-hole course called?
Don't look
He
at
told
me.
me about it. Balgove.
Oh, there we go.
Balgove.
So shout out to David. We love you.
Yeah.
Love you, David. Hope your arm's feeling better.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm just going to start off, set the scene. I'm going to go. Right. This one is. This one is. This one
I'm
is.
going to
a-
recommend
So
start
shambolic.
with the first one you
Yeah,
written
this-
down.
this
Just start and then carry on.
Okay. Yeah. Well, now I'm going to go into this person. So, I was born in Edgerton, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Do I know any Packers fans? Let me think.
Edgerton or Wisconsin.
Okay.
It's really nice, Edgerton, actually.
Is it?
You don't know.
Have you been?
Of course he has.
There's a nice little
Yeah.
bistro on the side corner. It's lovely.
Yeah. Edgerton Bistro. Edgerton Eats.
Okay. Next one. I turned pro in 1990 and begun my career on the Canadian Professional Golf Tour.
Okay, cool. Good for him.
1990.
Good for you.
1990.
1990. When was he born?
I was
When was he
minus
born?
7.
72? When were you born? Sorry.
He hasn't told us his age yet.
I haven't told you.
Oh,
your
right,
age.
just right,
Yeah,
okay.
no, yeah, that can give it away.
Okay.
So
Don't jump the gun.
But you
don't jump the gun.
Started the Canadian Tour 1990.
1990.
1990.
1990.
I wasn't even born.
Okay.
So no guesses or anything. And by the way, I just forgot to specify again. You're going to have one life. So you have
Okay.
one life.
Okay. That's
Okay.
all right.
Next one. My first PGA Tour event was in 1990 at the Great Milwaukee Open.
Where?
The Great Milwaukee Open.
That doesn't even exist
The
anymore,
Great
does it?
Milwaukee Open. Wow. I'm not sure I've ever been to Milwaukee before.
I don't know what was great about it.
Milwaukee.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever heard of that event.
Okay.
No.
No one going.
No.
Definitely not.
Okay. All right. I bet someone's got it already.
If you have, fair play.
Yeah. Comment when you get this player. My first PGA Tour win was in 1996 at the Kemper Open.
Right, so I'm almost born. I'm not quite there yet, but
I'm 5.
Okay.
Pete's about 15. But
You're going to take a wild stab in the dark.
I might take a wild stab in the dark. Good
Who?
car. I'm going to go Steve Stricker.
That's correct. Yeah.
wait, hang on. Didn't you?
before we... Okay, so let me fill
Did
you
you
in.
hear him say it before?
I did, yeah, but I didn't want to give anything away.
Let me fill you in. Before the podcast, Kieran was saying, "Oh, you're not going to get it. There's absolutely no way you're going to get it." And I just threw out a name. I was like, "Oh, I'm going Steve Stricker," right? As a joke.
It was Steve Stricker.
Fast forward to an hour
Is it
later.
actually Steve Stricker?
It's
It
Steve
is
Stricker.
actually. How did you
Did you
get
hear
that?
him say it before as well?
No.
Because, yeah.
He
Kieran
said
went,
it. He said it.
He's a
and
good player, but he's niche. And I
You
said...
must have mentioned it in passing some point.
no,
though. There's no reason for
No,
Steve Stricker to come
no.
back.
I think he actually might have got it.
No, because I said to you, I said to you, like, have a guess.
Yeah, and I said
then
Hunter Mayhem.
You hadn't, and then you just out of nowhere just went Steve Stricker. I was like,
and you went...
and I just didn't say anything. I like kept my poker face.
So-
Nick, you should have just done it.
Yeah, but hold on one second. Because there is a precedent of people saying it before they've used their buzzer and getting the point.
he did buzz.
I said mine
No,
much earlier.
Just not at the same
I'm
time.
sure about 4 months ago I said Steve Stricker at some point. Like, you can't just pull it out.
Are you constantly talking about Steve Stricker? Is there like...
Not to be. To be honest, I didn't even know the last thing you said, but I do remember
The Milwaukee Open.
No, I remember when we're talking about him being because he's not a Packers fan, he's
right.
a Bears fan.
Oh, okay.
And I remember, like, in his Ryder Cup speech, acceptance or opening ceremony, he said that, and it just clicked. And it seems
'Cause
about
he's
the right
from-
age.
He's from Wisconsin, which is where
Yeah.
Western Straits is.
Yeah. That's why he was the captain. Well,
Yeah.
not why he was captain there, but why it was special for
wanted-
him to
yeah,
be
why he
captain
wanted
there.
But then he made a
Captain.
comment about being a Bears fan.
Yes, and
Right.
it just twigged in the back of my head.
That is mental. Well done. Well done. That is very, very,
Okay,
very,
we're going to
very,
give
very
myself
good.
some applause there.
We'll make a round of
Maybe
applause.
Wisconsin would have got.
remember which one of
that
these is
might
the
have
applause
got a lot
button.
of people anyway. But
Very good, well done.
How many clues did you have left?
I had quite a lot of clues left. I had.
Sorry for all the hard work you put in the video. As anyone knows, anyone who's driven past Edgerton, there's a big, like, Steve Stricker cut out
There is.
on a
You
billboard.
are right. Yeah.
Next to the deli.
Yeah, next to the deli, yeah.
On the corner.
Home of Ryder Cup County.
Yeah.
Steve
And if you go
Stricker.
to the back of the deli, there's a shrine. I forgot about it. It's just, yeah.
It's candles, Steve Stricker's face in wax.
You can go in and order the Stricker special.
Probably, yeah.
The Stricker mixed grill.
He was ill a few months ago, wasn't he?
Was he?
I think he was
Yeah.
quite seriously ill. He's managed to pull through. He's okay now, but
Oh right.
actually, I can't remember.
And on that
what
note,
was
on
wrong,
Blue
but-
Monday,
Yeah, well done. Thanks, everyone.
This is a comeback story. He came back from the brink.
I cannot believe you guessed that.
That's mental. That.
I can't believe you said it before.
I must be honest, I was disappointed in my performance last week, so I was pretty determined to pull my full mental faculties
Yeah.
on.
I had
Been practicing.
I had
I've
7
been
left.
researching everybody.
I had 7 left.
7 clues left.
You
Wow.
Wow.
didn't have much confidence in it then.
No, I thought. Wow. I thought by. Don't know. Yeah, by
You
sort
thought
of
we were
last
stupid.
2, last 3, but
You stupid. Well, you thought we were stupid.
there we go. What do we do now?
Just got to end it.
I think we just like walk off and
We just walk up.
Well, I think like in an attempt to remain jovial on the saddest day of the year, we should end on that win. Well done, Pete.
yeah,
Well done, Pete. Well done, Pete. Here's the tally here as well for you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'll put that up.
You'll put that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
I love-
organise that.
I love making more work for you.
Yeah, great.
I love it.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
We're going to put the entire script of Lord of the Rings up here as well.
Yeah, literally.
Well, and it. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure that you follow the Rough Cut Podcast on your favourite podcast provider. Give the YouTube channel a subscribe as well. We are doing a giveaway at 10,000 subscribers, so make sure that you do that now. And that is it, guys. We'll see you next week. We'll probably see you before on the main channel. I'm struggling to get out of this, so I'm just going to say bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.